Welcome to GERG, live and uncensored. We're going to talk about esports, and I'm GERG. With me is LD and Charlie. What's going on, guys?
Shut up.
Well, you now know all you need to know about the show.
Can I get some fucking retweets, please? Fucking idiot co-hosts.
Can you fucking sell out my Twitter even more?
Can you buy me like 20,000 followers, please?
I mean, I didn't say
You're
that.
a goddamn user, Gerg.
You guys, this
Charlie,
is starting early.
retweet them from the EG account, man. Let's get some big.
Oh
followers.
yeah, I'll just get all my players to retweet you too.
All right, you know,
we want a little more than that.
you're starting the flame too early, guys. But all right, this show it's going to be about esports,
Hey,
our opinions.
idiot.
What?
Gerg,
Shut up.
fix your sound, dude.
Your sound doesn't work.
What?
Worse sound production than the.
My sound?
You're so-
No, that was on
you're so
purpose. No, that was on purpose. Everyone relax.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just-
sure, it's on
Everyone
purpose.
oh, it's all left. All right, yeah, that's on me.
You're so dumb.
I don't, All right, I think it's fixed now. Rip. But yeah, Charlie, Monolith, EG, manager, and professional idiot.
Professional, you're so dumb. Oh, God, I just want to leave your show in the middle of it now.
I thought that was directed at me. Damn, he's saving the good stuff.
And we've got LD, aka Wow. That's your nickname for this week's show. I've included it on the
You're
side.
just jealous you don't have a similarly well-remembered line.
So here's our topics for today, guys. Some random stuff, and let's just get into it. The first thing I want to talk about is ESL, and the good, the bad, because it was not all bad. It was definitely not all good. But what did you guys? So you were Charlie. You were there. What was your initial impressions?
Of ESL, well, my big issue was, I guess I'm not a fan of single elimination.
Sure.
I understand from a viewer perspective, from a production perspective, it makes the games more interesting. It makes everything a little more hype. But I think you go to an event, all these teams travel all over the place, all the fans travel all over the place. Everybody tunes in for this. It's supposed to be a big hype event. It's ESL New York, in the city, in Madison Square Theater, whatever.
Yeah.
And you want sort of value for your buck or for your time, and you go there and
You watch
you
your favorite team
play-
fucking lose first round if you're
right,
a Navi
right,
fan.
right. You play like one best of three. I mean, most of those teams all those teams played three best of threes at most, and you're not getting a lot of value there.
I mean, on the other hand,
single
though,
elimination is shit.
I mean, I think like a good double
And it's
elimination format is way better. I actually really. What did you like the WEC format?
I actually love
I thought that format was really fucking good.
for all the shit that I give China. Like, for the record, I hate China and all the tournaments there suck dick. But
Hey,
that
I-League
format-
and G-League were pretty good, dude. I-League
that
and G-League were
format-
legit.
that format was really good. I actually really like their double elimination format. I like how they extended the grand final series and made it a true double elimination.
Yeah, I think that's a really good
was-
format.
That was
I
really
actually
good,
really liked
and
that.
I was really impressed by that. So I actually don't even think it was their idea. So
Whose idea do you think?
Whose idea was it, Charlie?
I don't remember. It actually.
He's gonna say this was his
I
idea.
mean, no. I'm not gonna say it's my idea. I might be pulling this out of my ass right now, but I want to say
Bulba, maybe?
no, definitely not Bulba. Are you serious? I mean, he'd probably try to claim it as his idea. I actually want to say it might have been Helen's idea.
All right.
I
She
could be
was at-
complete. Yeah, she was at the event. I
WC?
I
Okay.
might be pulling it out of my ass. So like that is.
She may have.
This may be
She probably was the one who
completely-
told
If you guys don't know who Helen is, she's Zituzi. She used to work for Ghosty Gamers. Now she translates and deals with the Chinese scene.
I could have pulled that out of my ass. I don't remember, and I'm too lazy to go look at the logs.
Okay, by the way, Greg, your
What?
announcement tweet tonight we'll be talking about ESL Dream League and timeliness.
All right, whatever, dude.
Are you serious, dude? We were like an hour late for your show.
Okay, the show had no schedule. I decided we were gonna do the show this afternoon, and I roped Charlie into it, and then you got roped into it, and there was no
anyway,
set schedule.
DRL over. I just wanted to call you out. So you like the double limb format, Charlie?
I think it's
With
pretty good.
The actual
Yes.
double best of 3.
Yes. And the other gripe is I sort of wish they had more practice computers.
That seems like every fucking LAN, dude. Every LAN is like that.
I also wish they would have told me earlier that they had practice computers.
Oh, didn't you guys like travel to a LAN center or something?
Yeah. I thought we had to go to a LAN center and we had to figure that shit out for ourselves. I'm like, all right, at least you told me. But then we get there and there are practice computers there, and I didn't fucking know. Good shit.
Yeah. Well, fair enough.
PJ Salt.
Onward to ESL. What do you think of single limb LD?
Single limb.
I think it's an exciting format, but I definitely agree that.
Fuck yourself. It's not.
I mean, I think double limit is. It's not like you don't. Yeah, but it's in double
Listen.
limit. It's not like you lose those games. Is my thing.
Listen, single limb is fine, but they had no group stage, right? Like the whole point of single limb is that you seed the teams.
Yeah.
The World Cup kind of gets away with it because these teams play much longer, and there's less I feel like there's less randomness with soccer than there is with. Well, it is kind of a random sport, but not to the same degree that Dota can be, where if you just bust out an unusual draft, you win a game. All of a sudden you're up 1-0, the other team maybe tilts a little bit, their computers are not working properly.
Yeah, my issue with
us-
single elimination is that you need to everyone wants to see more of these teams. Secret played 2 best-of-3s on LAN. One was against Sna. I mean,
Holy shit, dude.
Jesus.
yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Okay, to be fair, the SNA that showed up at ESL was not the SNA that's been played online, but
Sure. Whatever.
Wait, are we
Fuck
talking about
Ike. He got me sick at
in,
TI3.
in terms
Wait,
of
and they didn't play. Snot didn't play Secret.
Oh yeah.
Navi US
No,
played
no,
Secret.
no,
Same
no,
thing
no.
though.
Yeah.
That was not. I mean,
Sorry,
that was
that
like
wasn't-
that was
sorry.
fucking Navi US. That's never played a game together. Like, have
That's a
no
whole
idea what the
discussion.
fuck's going on.
Who is Navi US?
Navi US is fogged and
Who is
Korok.
Navi US anymore?
Navi US is fogged and Korok.
Technically, Navi US, as of this moment, technically, Navi US is fogged. Snake King.
I think Snake
and
King's on.
Korok.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but I just want.
Who knows?
Single
Who
limb
knows
is-
how that'll change?
Single
mean-
limb is actually a great format, I think. It's just not a great standalone format with no seeding, no group stage. Like it ended up making for
No,
exciting
there was
games.
seeding. There was seeding.
Well,
there was some
there was
form of
no-
seeding where the top European team played the top or the bottom whatever team.
Yeah, but there was no actual gameplay mechanism for seeding. There's no group stage. There was no GSL groups or whatever. Just
Sure.
here's how strong we think the teams are. You could be wrong. Teams can actually end up having a huge fight the day before the event. They play like shit. They don't sleep. They play like shit. That's where I feel like you have the group stage, and then if you want to go into single limb, that's fine because you can completely justify this is the 1 seed, this is the 8 seed. This is where you deserve to be. But not having any group stage, it's too random.
Yeah,
That's
I can get behind that.
I mean, sure. I don't have a problem with that.
Honestly, the format was one of the least problems I had with the event. But some of the good things about the event. I mean, I don't even know if this is on them, but the secret shop was nice to have, and there was no line ever compared to TI where you had to wait for fucking ever. That was cool. I thought the talent did a good job. The casting was good, the hosting was good, the desk was good.
Okay, we were talking about this a lot at the house, and I just gotta say they underused and misused
Okay,
Period really badly though.
Well, okay, this is getting on later. I have usage of talent is a very separate category.
And not to mention someone who's in the chat right now, Sir Action Slacks, criminally
Yeah, he got
misused
2 fucking videos. Why did you even fucking invite him if you're gonna do that, man? I know for a fact he made 15 videos every day, and they showed 1 or 2 or something. I don't know. That's pretty stupid. Another good thing I thought the games were good, but obviously that's completely outside of ESL's control. The games were some of the highest level of Dota in the later stages that I've seen.
Yeah.
Lately.
Yeah,
The early stages were a disaster. Navi US sucked. They DC'd, then they sucked more. Snake King died, and they lost. I mean, that's just how it is. But I thought the later stage games were really good. The Cloud9 EG series was really good. The finals were really good.
I thought the Alliance EG series.
The Alliance series was really good as well.
And then Vici EG was really
The finals were really good.
When I was watching FY play, it was just one of those. He's beating
FY
the shit out
fucking
of my
won,
team,
dude. Yeah.
and it was
and you're not even
I
mad.
wanted to love him, and
I'm
be
not
really
even
angry.
mad. I'm just impressed. I'm just
Dude, like
impressed
when they were like, "Let's buy some E-blades," then FY literally won them the game. Like, oh man, dude.
Yeah,
Then Fenrir piggyback on nice.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
this
like, "That's a
looks
good
really good. I
idea."
should get one as well.
if Ember would have died there, we probably.
Yeah, I think they probably would have won.
To be fair, there was actually a moment before that where FY got completely caught out of position almost through the game for them. But overall, he played amazingly the tournament. And the thing for me that's crazy with FY is we're totally going off topic here because we're supposed to be
It's
playing
okay,
people,
dude.
but
We'll get there.
he's become a captain and a team leader in a matter of like 4 months, right? Like,
Yeah.
granted, he learned from a good captain, RTK, but where did this guy come from? Not just as an individual talent, but
As
all of a
a
sudden he's
team.
captaining one of the best teams in China, if not the best.
Yeah, I mean, I think Vici definitely an argument. At least for
I don't
this.
know. Molly on Twitter pulled out some obscure fact out of his ass about somebody discovering him or some shit. Chinese fucking fanboy.
All right, so do you have okay? The other good thing, I think, overall stream experience was like pretty all right. Like, I think it was, from what I saw, it looked like it was good. Besides the fact that talent was underused.
Okay, ESL does a great job with. There are some things I didn't like, but
There's
they
a
do
lot of
great
things I
job
didn't
with
like.
A lot of stuff that other organizations fall on their asses with. They have very little downtime. They have a great host in Red Eye who keeps the conversation flowing. And I will say, as someone who's not a great host,
Dude, hosting's
wastes a lot
hard.
of- yeah, it's fucking hard, and he does a good job of inserting himself, but not overwhelming the panel, passing the buck around. They did a really good job with downtime, but in terms of like the panel, in terms of limiting commercial breaks, but it just didn't feel like ESL Frankfurt set the bar really high, right? It's hard to. I think they got a little bit lucky that the World Cup happened to be so they built this huge screen for the World Cup in the stadium because it's being held in South America. They can watch, the German fans can go there to watch the games. Oh, and it's free on these days because there's no games being played. So that was a bit fortuitous. You can't count on that, but they did an amazing job with that event. Like, when you see the desk, you see the huge stadium behind them.
Yeah, the atmosphere was great in that event.
The atmosphere was great.
It felt like a LAN.
Yeah. Well, it felt like an earth-shatteringly different event. Honestly, ESL New York
did not feel like that. And this leads to my first major gripe with that event is ESL New York, like the actual LAN experience was awful compared to most LANs. Like, the talent was backstage the whole time. Like, the desk was backstage. The casting desk was backstage. There was
in
no
a fucking basement, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you paying God knows
Seriously,
how much for this
oh
venue?
my
It
God.
didn't feel like they were.
And then
The
the
only
other thing, well, this is kind of adding on to the venue, is so there were 3 levels of tickets for ESL when you could purchase the tickets. There was the base tickets, which were the 300 section, the gold tickets were the 200 section, and then the premium tickets were the 100 section. They closed the entire 300 section because they did not sell any tickets for this event, really.
Okay, to be fair, I would have done the exact same thing if I was in their position. Because the first day they didn't use the camera shots at all, and when they used the camera shot of the crowd,
Yeah, it was like 3
It was
people.
like 15 people.
And-
Okay, we found an area that looks relatively populated. Let's go with the shot. But
Yeah.
you compare that to Frankfurt, like, they're showing the crowd the entire event because the turnout was amazing.
yeah.
So I cannot.
Well, I mean,
think
I
they
can
had to do
understand
it.
closing it, but which it just kind of leads me to like my bigger problem is why the fuck did you have your event in the most expensive city in the world in a Thursday and a Friday when your primary demographic is young kids who can't afford to go to fucking New York? Hotels in New York were like $350 a night. No, dude, they closed an entire section of the venue.
You know how
Whatever.
many tickets they did?
Did
sell
you know
out
in the
for us?
back where there was those curtains? People were supposed to sit there.
Oh, we're awful.
Yeah.
Well, there's like a whole upper deck, right, as well.
Well, yeah. Well, they also didn't use any of the boxes because the screens were in the most fucking asinine position in the world.
That's true. The VIP boxes
Were useless.
You could not see a damn thing.
You literally couldn't see any of the screens. I don't know. I mean, that coupled with the fact that also the screens were super fucking small. They also were like Jumbotron TVs, like not in size, but like, they're like not like screens, but like the little like LEDs basically. So everything was fucking blurry. You couldn't see anything on the screens. I don't know, man. I don't know. That venue was really fucking shit. It seemed like they were just like, let's have an event in Madison Square Garden. And say we did that. And they just were like, fuck everything else. It's going to be here. It's going to be great.
It's kind of natural, right? Like, ESL Frankfurt was just amazing. For those, I guess some people might not know if they don't, closely follow esports announcements. But ESL recently, kind of opened an American branch. They bought a company in America, which I think Torbull and some of the old Counter-Strike guys have been working with. E something L. I think they have almost the same.
ESCA. It's
ESCA.
ESCA.
Okay. I think there's it's ESS, who's like the agency.
Yes,
that runs ESL.
ESS agency, and they also work with ESEA.
Yeah, and so I think part of it was they're just buoyed by their confidence of running this Frankfurt event, and so let's run out. Like we could do a great event in New York, and I think it's an understandable overextension, to be fair. But that being said, they just set the bar too high, man. It's like people flame TI3 or sorry TI4 because TI3 was so amazing, but a lot of that was out of Valve's control. Like some
The
things were
finals.
not for sure, but the thing that really
Well,
I'm not
bad
gonna walk
games.
down this road. I'm not gonna walk down this road.
The thing that killed TI4 was bad games more than anything.
yeah.
Bad games and some big moments.
Bad games, no practice
Charlie, you don't
computers.
agree?
I'm not gonna go down
Yeah.
this road. I'm not gonna go down this road.
How come, Charlie?
Just gonna sit here and sip my Monster Energy.
You're fucking disgusting, dude.
That's just like third of the.
You're just like chugging those things down. Is there actually Monster in that, or is it like one of the water ones? You just.
Greg, are you gonna need a cut of his?
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
His personal sponsorship deal.
I wish, man.
It should be a signing bonus for you. for Charlie.
I'm a personal sponsor as of ESL, by the way.
Oh God, that's great, dude.
You know,
Congratulations.
Fly has added my name to his tag in all his official matches. It was the cheapest personal sponsorship of my life. Yeah,
What did you
can
give
get
him?
on my level.
What did you give him?
I give him 2 packs of hand warmers.
A Jolly Rancher.
I'm the best. I'm the best. No,
Oh
I didn't even
my
give him a
God.
Jolly Rancher.
All right, so some other pretty shit things about ESL. There's a lot of things about ESL. Some of the team's hotels were in the middle of nowhere. Where's your hotel, Charlie? Oh, it was far.
Yeah,
Oh, I
fuck
remember
you.
where
My
yours
hotel-
was.
my-
Oh,
my
your hotel was
like,
close.
right across the street. Yeah.
But fucking Steven, the Navi US and Sna Hotel was like 2 miles away by Grand Central. I don't know if that's on the ESL, honestly.
I mean, maybe they need a better manager who's gonna advocate for them to get that premier hotel like Charlie here
Maybe-
can bring to the table, or that EG money. That's the other thing.
Maybe they just need to be more valuable teams. I don't know.
Holy shit, dude.
That's not fair. I shouldn't say that.
And then, I mean, that's a really small thing. The scheduling for the teams was a little fucked up. Like, Sna got there at 9 a.m., didn't have a game till midnight. That was cool for them. I'm sure they really had fun sitting in the venue all day. And then the big thing, the elephant in the room for ESL is those motherfucking computers. I buy power.
I buy shit.
I buy
I buy shit.
So I assume you've already secured another computer sponsorship for the summit.
Okay, so MLG Columbus. I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a lot of downtime in between matches, especially on the main stage. Now these are pretty small booths, right? So it gets hot in there. Dude, these computers just break. Like I remember casting the event, they'd be like, all right, we're going in, 5, 4, oh, hold on. It's gonna be 10 minutes. Yeah, we had a producer there telling us like, oh, it looks like we have to change out a computer. We're gonna go to cut to a segment on the desk or whatever. This happened countless times during the event, and it was always I'd look over and you could kind of see the booth, and there'd be someone like pick up a computer replacing it. When I went backstage, there were like hundreds of extra computers.
Jesus Christ.
Literally hundreds of extra computers, and it's better than not having extras.
I mean, I
which-
guess, but shouldn't you just get computers that don't fucking need that?
So MLG Columbus was an amazing event, but that was the biggest issue with it by far, was downtime caused by technical issues with PCs. Then toward our event, people complained about downtime, and I will say like probably 70 to 80% of it was mostly on us because the setup, we only had 2 rooms for players to play in. So as a result, every time the players switch, the Chinese players want to switch to a Chinese version of Windows. They want to update their Steam language settings. Then everybody wants to get comfortable with their mouse sensitivity. Whatever. It takes a fucking while, right?
It takes a while, yeah.
And
Yeah, the
we have
summit
some
was
ideas
shit.
to improve it for next time, but a lot of it was PC issues. And so first of all, we get the PCs like the night before the event.
Oh my
None of them
God.
have Windows installed. So fortunately, Mott was here to help with the event, and he spends all night, him and Roland, formatting PCs, literally like 20 hours formatting these computers. We got 25 from iBuyPower. 5 of them didn't work. 20% failure rate. Now, they later would tell us that was like our old fleet that we were phasing out, but they're still the Revolts. It's the white,
same
the
computer,
white PCs,
yeah.
the same model, like
Well,
maybe
okay.
an older version of the Revolt.
I mean, my hypothesis here on these computers is, it's a computer. Computers don't like getting moved. They don't like, being in fucking confined spaces where it's a bazillion degrees. And these computers are passed around like hookers in Vegas, dude. They're like this. They have like the same fleet of computers that go to event after event after event, and they might format them or whatever, but they're still going to be the same fucking shit computers with blown up internals that they just keep passing on. I heard they swapped out 20 computers on the first day of ESL, because at one point they swapped all 10 of them.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
right.
true.
So 20 is like not a far call when you swap out 10 of them at once.
We had a 20% failure rate. It sounds like they had like a 50% failure rate. I don't know how many PCs they had, but
when we came in the first day to use some of the practice computers are the same computers. Like when we used them on the first day, they were like everyone's dropping from games.
They would just crash continually.
Right, so they swapped them out on the second, like they swapped out all of them. There's like just a stack of, like on the last day you could go in and you just see a stack of the computers just like in the corner. Those are the ones that don't work.
Good.
Yep.
I hope that wasn't the arrangement for MLG, because I don't know if you went backstage, Charlie, right? There were literally like 200 to 500 boxes lined up against the back wall. I think some of it was just the shipping boxes, but
I don't think there was like hundreds of computers. It was like
there
was a lot of them, but it wasn't. I don't think it was 100.
Dude, it was definitely hundreds. There were boxes lining the wall for sure. At least 100. At least 100.
Okay, I think that's fair to say.
Okay, so MLG Columbus, the Summit, ESO 1, and I've done a little research and digging where, we're looking for a PC partner for the Summit and for the Summit 2, and everyone has this problem apparently with iBuyPower. So I'm sorry, but your PCs that you provide to events are shit. Whether it's the shipping process, whether it's the hardware, whether they're just too old and they need to be replaced, it's unacceptable. Like, why are they not more bothered by the fact that their PCs are tanking the event? Like, the whole point of being the PC partner.
I heard the CEO was at ESL.
Really?
Yeah.
If they don't fix something now, then I don't know when they're gonna fix anything.
Dude, I can't believe they didn't issue like a public apology or something. Like, our computers are AIDS-ridden. We're sorry.
Well, you kind of just bury your head in the sand.
At that point, you're just like
ESL, right? And ESL, it's like, hey, ESL, if you don't take the bullet, maybe we don't pay you. No, I'm not saying they would do that, but
I mean,
they want to work together. At least it's the end of their contract, right? So
yeah.
Jesus, dude.
I mean,
I will say personally, we have not worked with other PC sponsors. The Summit was our first event, but I've never heard of a failure rate this high, dude. Like, it doesn't happen.
It's pretty bad.
Maybe it does, but I'm not hearing about it.
Because I mean, some of those computers also go to like shows like things like CES and
probably PAX.
PAX, yeah, like those computers fucking get around, man. It's
but
maybe not all of them, but
do that, and I don't think they all have the same issue. Maybe it's shipping.
I don't know.
Maybe they are very small computers.
They're probably just old, and it probably just it probably is the same computers, to be honest.
Yeah,
they just like
a fleet of like.
Occasionally they just fucking format them all and send them on their way.
Numbers, and like they'll they divvy it up. So BlizzCon gets some computers. Other like Summoners Con gets some. A company that we're talking to is probably providing PCs for that, and they kind of get passed around, right? But you can ship computers and they not break. Like that is possible.
It is a thing that you can do.
Yeah, it does exist.
It does exist.
It's out there, guys. When you buy a computer online, they ship it to you. How often do those break for like a reputable company like Dell? I've never had a problem with it.
Yeah.
My dad's bought like 20 Dell computers. They've all worked fine. Yeah, it's anecdotal, and obviously I'm sure this does happen to everyone, but the failure rate's too high. It's not about being perfect. It's about cutting down on the number of issues, and they're not cutting down, man. They went from a 20% failure rate at our event to apparently a 50% failure rate.
Who fucking knows? I mean, how do you have that many spare computers? Like, the other issue is if you know that you need to ship that many fucking computers to the event, you must know there's a problem. Like, we'll send them 50 computers for like 30, or like 100 computers for 50 even.
Maybe they just.
All right, I'm bored of this topic now.
All right. Fuck you, iBuyPower, and your computers. They're fucking bad. Screens were shit. Talent location was shit. The dates were
Just
shit.
like your face.
Oh my god, dude. The venue, the tickets were so fucking expensive. It was ridiculous. I don't know. Are we done flaming ESL? Like, oh my god, dude. The fucking press. Okay.
Really.
All right. Well, I got something for flame them. So this was like a very public thing on Twitter. We didn't get a press pass for ESL, and the reasoning was because there was only 50 spots for press, 50 people, which seems like a lot. It's like that sounds like a lot of people for us not to get a press pass for just a Dota 2 event. And they're like, well, we accepted a bunch of mainstream media, and they have 4 to 5 people per company. I was like, what? First of all, how is that supposed to make me feel better? Second of all, why do you need 4 to 5 people to make like a 30-second thing of, we're at this beautiful tournament, there's 1 million people here, and they love video games?
Well, I don't know, 4 to 5 people. You got a camera guy, you got like
an interviewer, an editor, an audio person.
Right.
But these people are there for like
somebody else.
Dude, these people are there for like 2 hours. Did you ever see anyone?
No.
Did you see these people?
Much longer. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
I only saw like 2 of them.
Some of them interviewed me. Some of them interviewed my players. They were from mainstream media. There were people from the New York Post. There are people from Canadian television. They're sort of all over the place.
Let's be honest. GERG is salty that he got.
I mean, I'm pretty salty.
Yeah,
dude.
I mean, you got
benched, GERG. You got benched.
I got shafted for fucking
you are not
MTV.
mainstream media, and you are basically broadcasting this out of your home in a t-shirt, and you had thought about putting on your bathrobe on.
I did consider it.
That is why
he's going to upgrade from the basketball shorts to the jeans. You know, he's going to go the next mile.
I mean, you got shafted because you're shit.
Wow.
I love you.
In his defense, it sounds like
it was
Greg,
pretty.
You were saying promises were made.
Yeah,
hints were dropped.
Wait, was there promises made? Because I have press badges for people from EG too, and they were like, we have mainstream media coming.
So I asked them.
They didn't make us any promise.
I originally contacted them on August 20th or something, and they were like, "Sure, we're still figuring out details for the event." But I emailed them like 15 times during this thing, and the answer never really changed. And then they were like, at one point they were like, we're still looking. I was like, okay. I mean, at that point, I imagined that we probably, we maybe wouldn't get them. We maybe would get them. I was like 50-50. So there wasn't promises on that front.
I mean, a savvy person that is asked that many times should probably realize.
I mean, at that point,
industry, as long as you should probably
you're the backup plan or you're not invited.
Well, yeah, I mean, we had a backup plan.
You realize I'm all right. I'm not getting.
We were still at. It wasn't we can't go to the event now. Yeah, I'm just a GERG.
This sounds more like a classic GERG moment.
It really is.
I gotta say, Greg.
It really is.
But okay,
let's table this topic.
All right, we'll table it. The only thing I do want to say is that there was so much fucking room in that venue. They could have done literally anything to add people in there. But
no. I mean,
maybe they're hoping for an angel investor.
The press pass was for a lot of shit backstage, and there wasn't a lot of room back there, and there was enough press in there as it was, and a lot of the press in there did need to be there for that long because they wanted access to players, they wanted access to talent, specifically a lot of mine. I wouldn't give them as much access as they wanted to. And they had to wait a long time for it.
A lot of mine, please get over yourself.
Kill yourself, you fucking fuck.
You think you're good or something, dude?
Oh my god.
I'm the goddamn greatest.
If I tries.
All right, so my closing thoughts on this is don't compromise on fucking everything for your event just to get yourself at a venue in New York City on a Thursday and Friday where no one can afford to come to your event.
So why'd you go if you couldn't afford it?
Me? I mean, I can afford it. I have a real job. Most people.
Oh, who's on this fucking high horse now?
Dude, I have a real paying job.
I have a real job where I earn money.
A real job. Your jobs aren't real. You work in esports.
I fucking hate you, dude.
What kind of fucking show are you on?
I don't want to talk about it, dude. So I don't know.
Can we move along entirely?
Okay, we're done. All right, we're done with DSL. Stop compromising. And next thing on the docket here, this is one that everyone's gonna get all riled out about. DreamLeague.
I just want to say one last thing about ESL.
Okay. Well, thought we were done.
I am glad they tried it, right? Everyone's really salty that the event wasn't exactly what they hoped for, but
overall, I will say I enjoyed the event.
I mean, I thought it was okay. Of course I enjoyed it. It's a fucking land.
You also have to respect the fact that they took a risk, right? Yeah, sure, they're a larger company compared to some other esports companies. They can afford to take more risks, but the safe play would have just been to wait until they could do something like Frankfurt again. Or maybe it's not in a football stadium, it's a basketball stadium, but they took a risk. It wasn't an entire failure, I hope, but it obviously wasn't as successful as Frankfurt, and now we know we can learn.
Yeah,
everyone gets to learn from it.
I have to imagine financially they took a hit from that event.
So anyway, I don't want this to be a flame fest ESL. It didn't work out perfectly, but
we started with the good things. There were some good things about the event. So
I mean overall, I do appreciate the gumption to go to New York, and I know they wanted the garden itself, but sometimes things doesn't work out. That's esports. That's how it is. You live and you learn.
live and learn.
I mean, that's one of the reasons why we did the summit, is because it's not as much of a risk as doing your first live event in a big venue. We also thought it would be differentiating ourselves, but it's a lot easier. We already have the gear here. We didn't have to do as much work to set up. It's it was
quit plugging your own tournament, you fuck.
I'm under my own tournament, dude. It was the easy way out. But anyway, let's go. Let's move on.
All right, DreamLeague started up recently, and so there's a lot of things about this event that are completely ridiculous so far. The first among them, probably the most obvious, is the fact that the finals are 13 days of LAN or 14 days of LAN.
No.
Okay.
Let's not mischaracterize.
All right, more
this.
specifically,
Get it right, GERG.
there's like a week of studio days, right? And then there's
No, shut the fuck up.
All right,
You're actually so goddamn
right.
dumb. I'll
This is
explain.
why you're here.
So there are 2 phases for the physical portion of DreamLeague. Well, technically there are actually 4 phases of DreamLeague. First is the qualifiers for each respective region for DreamLeague,
which are all right,
it's open signups.
Yeah.
All these teams from their respective regions playing these qualifiers, and then the
Okay,
winners of that get seeded into regional qualifiers. Up until this point, everything is online. The regional qualifiers are online, and then the top 2 from the regional qualifiers will go into phase 2 of DreamLeague, and that is where the top 2 teams from each region will all travel to Stockholm for about 7 days, and they'll play
17th to
they'll play in the hashtag Monster Gaming Studios in Stockholm, and they'll play for about 7 days.
Dude, fuck
and then,
off. Jesus, get over
I now
it.
know why you accepted the invite to this event, Charlie.
And then
Can we make a no monster rule on this show?
and then after about 3-4 days, everyone will travel the top 6 teams of phase 2 will travel to Jönköping for your standard dream hack.
Okay, but
So you essentially the problem that everybody had with this, which is what GERG was trying to say, but he's an idiot, is that all these teams essentially spend 2 weeks in Sweden,
Yeah.
and nobody wants to fucking do that.
Nope.
You know what's funny is that someone who lives in Sweden, Bulldog, was saying that he doesn't. He was like one of the first people to tweet about it. He lives in Sweden. It's like me going to San Francisco, and he's like, "Fuck that! I don't want to be stuck in Stockholm for a week and a half, 2 weeks." I actually don't have an. I think it's awesome what they're doing if the teams are happy with it, right? Like it's a different type of event.
Sure.
So if you can get the
Yeah,
teams,
I mean,
it's amazing. But the issue is the teams. It sounds like it's a big commitment, and Charlie, you could speak to this. Or are you happy with the format? Are you excited for it? Is your team happy?
no. I'll be
No.
honest. I mean, I spoke to Hellspawn about this, and to be fair, I think their intentions were really good. They wanted to do something cool. They wanted to get these teams on land playing each other. They wanted to show off their studio. That's fine. But I think what they didn't realize is that they don't exist in a vacuum.
They're not the only fucking tournament in esports.
Shut the fuck up. There are a million other things going on. There are a million, like, these teams and these players have a million other things going on. Not all these players are actually full-time. I mean, we've grown a lot in the last year, but some of these players have other commitments. Koikva's still in school. Zion is still in school. I mean, we've, like, for EG, we've worked it out with DreamLeague so where the schedule is manageable for us. But it has created a lot of issues and complications, and it isn't like an easy thing to work around.
Okay, I will come at it from a tournament organizer point of view. The thing that's really frustrating about DreamLeague is, for us, is not even that at all. It's the open qualifiers where, okay, so heavy open qualifiers is great, right? You give every team a chance to make their way into an event. It's something that you want to ultimately, like, that's how the scene should work in an ideal universe, is every player who has some talent, there's some structure for them to move up the ladder. Eventually, they can become a top player, but and join a top team or make their way as a team. But the issue is, the open qualifiers are too open. Teams that should be invited to
Team Secret is playing in the fucking open qualifiers.
Yeah. Not just Team Secret, a lot of other top teams.
What
in
the
Europe.
fuck? How is that okay?
Navi US SNA has to play the open qualifiers because Cloud9's an American team apparently, which is another issue.
Oh, we can talk about that too. That's all on Charlie, boys. Well, we can
You
table that
created a
discussion.
monster,
Yeah, you
Charlie.
fucking created a monster.
You created a fucking
Dude,
monster,
you're a
dude.
fucking Charlie. You're a fucking server enabler, dude. You are a server abusing enabler. Don't you fucking know me? This is your fault.
You go fuck yourself, Greg. I don't want to hear any of this shit from especially you.
Dude, you know, it's all fucking you. You're the reason that happened.
He wants so bad to wash his fucking hands of it, did you? He's like,
You can't wash your fucking hands of that. That was your fucking team.
Okay, to be fair, when I did that, they were my team. It was my duty to get them the best.
You're right, and that's what I'm saying. It's your fucking fault.
I agree with Charlie's whole philosophy with teams and tournaments and just everyone in the spaces. It's like the legal system. It's adversarial. So the whole idea is you make the best case for your position. They make the best case for the position.
Yeah, I didn't say it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I'm not.
So I'm sorry if the admin I was arguing with is like
an idiot or a weak backbone.
It was a push. I'm sorry. My it's big. I am sorry.
I didn't say anything there, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, that was like the perfect time for you to skip a little bit. This is still, maybe almost PG-13 or something.
Indianization, so.
Okay, honestly, I mean.
Wow. This might be an after-hours show, but you still represent your brands and your sponsors.
Dude, just because you live in your office doesn't mean you always have to represent your brand.
Look at you two. You basically live in your office.
I mean, you're not wrong.
It's like an office.
All right, okay. So beyond the fact, I mean, okay, honestly, I don't have a problem with the fact that Charlie's a server enabler because that was literally his job. Like, I'm just saying, you're a fucking server enabler. That's how it is. This is a fact. Do you decline the fact that you're a fucking server enabler, dude? No, you drink that monster. You drink that fucking monster money.
I am not a server enabler.
You're derailing this.
All right, okay, I'm sorry. I did derail the shit out of this.
For my players.
He's just so eager to get a knife into Charlie. Twist that shit good, GERG.
Okay. So I don't even know how we ended up at this conversation. Oh, because Cloud9's an NA team. Okay, but all these fucking teams have to play in the open qualifiers, which are the most stupidly run things in the world because they insisted on all these teams blocking out 4 days out of their schedule completely and didn't tell them until like a week ago.
It's the nature of an open qualifier.
So why the fuck don't they just do like a seeded, like a, something where there's a later stage, like any normal tournament does?
Well, and to be fair, we brought this to them, and they basically said we kind of ran short on time.
Yeah, what they said is we fucked up. We fucked.
And to be fair, they are saying like it's not like they're denying it. Like
that's because we basically put them in a room and fucking yelled at them until they cried.
Wow,
that's not an accurate characterization.
Wow.
I mean, I think it's a pretty accurate characterization.
You're gurging hard.
You're gurging out a little bit, GERG. Okay, we did come to them with some frustrations about the last minute changes to schedules, and I will say this is one of the reasons why we've gone with like a more Star Ladder-esque format for our event is because it's a lot more flexible, and I think that's why Star Ladder have their format. I'm not 100% sure, but because I've never asked them, but if you just have all be a one group stage round robin, it's very easy to plug and play matches, right? You can swap them. It's only a few teams involved for an hour at a time. It's easier to switch things around. If you have like a bracket format, it's pretty inflexible because teams have to be available for that next round, and you don't know who's going to advance. So you kind of have to block out like 6, 9, 12 hours a day, whatever the case is. So I think part of it is just the fact that they didn't tier their group stages or their qualifiers where you have the open qualifier, then those teams move into phase 2. Maybe that's where you have teams like, Power Rangers. I'm not gonna go through the whole list of teams, but teams that are like
I'm scrolling through the bracket right now.
And then you have like the final qualifier round. And if you want to put like a team like Secret in there, fine. But they've proven themselves, right? In other tournaments.
Look at the teams in this thing, man. This is pretty stupid.
Can I get a link?
Yeah, can you make that full screen? Because it's kind of hard to see. It's actually I'm even full screen it. It's kind of hard to see.
Yeah, I can do that. Just give me a
why is Team Secret American? They have an American flag there.
Are you sure? I think that's.
I don't know. Maybe it's a mistake.
Not the link. They're playing. Okay, they beat Turkey Dota.
Oh, they are in here as American. That's kind of weird.
What? Okay, I'm sorry. Why does Team Secret have to play Turkey Dota? Like that's the whole issue with the format.
Yeah, this is the issue. Like, who the fuck Turkey Dota is? Someone from Turkey, I assume. But like this, so they didn't even play this round of this match today because they had a Dota Pit match and we didn't want to reschedule it. So I don't know. I mean, they turned out they basically apologized. They said they would try to be more flexible, but I mean, they fucked up. Like these qualifier formats are disgusting.
And
Like,
it's not like it's
like look
so
at the
anyway,
games in this qualifier. 4 anchors playing Denial in like the third or fourth to last round or something. Like it's just so stupid. And almost none of these games are getting streamed, right?
No.
So yeah. So what the fuck?
No,
mean, any of
they're
their
not getting streamed. Like earlier today, some guy that was playing in the tournament was streaming the game on his personal stream. But there's no official cast.
Yeah, and they're best of threes. Someone just asked that in the chat. All of those are best of threes, which is also so stupid. But
part of the reality is
I mean, is that stupid? Like,
best
I
of
mean,
three.
they should.
that's
be,
true,
they
I
should
guess.
be
I mean, they should be best of
if you're
threes.
gonna
but
put a team like Secret in the qualifier, you can't have a God forbid. Okay, this is
God
actually
forbid
what
they
iLeague
lose
did.
to Turkey Dota.
This is what iLeague did. iLeague had BO1 games in their qualifiers, which is why, like, I think that's why.
I am gonna fucking go off on iLeague.
I'm ready, dude.
Give it to me, Charlie.
Okay,
Give it to
so
me.
do you know why iLeague didn't have some of the more premier North American teams like EG or C9 or
Nine?
Really? Or Alliance or no, sorry, not North American, but any of the premier Western teams. They had like they had like people like, I don't know, VP or whoever the fuck was in whoever the fuck went to iLeague. You know why we didn't go? So at the very start, when we were talking to them about having our teams play in the event, having them like go through the qualifiers, whatever, we engaged in like a pseudo negotiation thing with them, talking about the conditions for the tournament. We had a variety of concerns about how everything was set up, like a whole list of things. Starting from, they originally wanted to pay all their money to us in cash.
Well, you did accept cash from WC, right?
Right. That is a whole nother can of worms. I didn't like that either. Like, for the record, I do not like receiving a suitcase of cash in a foreign
Dude, those
country.
text messages
What
were
you
so
really
funny.
don't like is walking through customs. With that
Yes,
suitcase.
I don't like that either. So the concerns we had with iLeague were the first round was best of one. We wanted that changed. Receiving all the money in cash was something we wanted changed. There was going to be a 20% tax on the prize pool, and there still is. I mean, that's fine. They told us it was some Chinese law or something. I just wanted documentation of this, and I wanted like some sort of tax form so that the players wouldn't get double taxed when they get back. So it's not like I'm asking for the fucking world, but I wanted these things cleared up before we went. And so we're in these negotiations with them, and then all of a sudden, in the middle of negotiations, they're like, "Oh, deadline's up. You can't sign up anymore. You have to ask the teams that have already signed up to sort of take their place." This is why we weren't in there. Yes, this wasn't anywhere. This is why we're not in fucking iLeague. And for the record, like, almost every single Chinese admin that I've dealt with this year has been an incompetent piece of shit.
Boom.
Do you think the language barrier plays a role, Charlie?
No, it's not the I speak Chinese.
Since when?
Dude,
when? I was born in China, you fuck.
Are you fluent?
Every single, like, I am fluent. Yes,
Are you passable?
Yeah, I can go to China and I can have a conversation with somebody without needing a translator.
Okay. I actually I wasn't aware. I wasn't, just making sure.
But so, like every single one of them, it's like they're in over their fucking heads and they have no idea how to run a goddamn tournament. They don't know what's fair. They don't know what's right. When I brought these things up with them with iLeague, they're like, "Oh, sorry, that's our fault, but we can't do anything about it now. You're fucked. Go kill yourself." Like,
that sounds great.
fucking fucks.
Sounds like a great tournament, man. Aren't you glad you didn't go?
They actually had good prize money.
It's a bunch of shit. And no. Here's the thing. iLeague sold their tournament. iLeague sold their tournament as having a 300K prize pool, but it barely wasn't even that. $100,000 of that went out to pay for a
Production
hotel.
and
Yeah. it wasn't even $300,000 as a prize pool. It was way less than that. And then on top of that, 20% of that was taxed again. So I-League and
well, that's not their fault. That's not their fault. You can't call them out on tax issues.
I mean, that's what they sold it as. But and the thing is, I-League, the first place for I-League ended up being the exact same as the first place for WEC.
Well, that's pretty
okay,
shit.
but
all right.
I mean, as far as the tax issues go, like that's not on them, dude. You got to do your research and.
No. You're right. I asked them for the fucking forms, and they still haven't given them to me.
What, for I-League?
Did you get double tax from WEC?
And WEC. Yeah,
Did you get double tax for that?
I don't have a single fucking form from the Chinese.
So they
guys.
gave you
Like,
a suitcase of cash
they gave me a
with
suitcase
nothing
full of
else.
cash. Yes.
So you're gonna get like kidnapped when you next time you go to China.
Right. And it's like
and you're convicted for tax evasion, basically.
yeah, and it's
you'll never come back.
And it's like while I'm in China, it's like I don't want to. I don't want to say to them, I'm not gonna take this money. I want a fucking tax form, because like if I leave China without the money,
You might
what's
never
the
see it
chance
again.
that I actually get
Yeah.
that money again.
Yeah. Agreed. So you did get double taxed. You got taxed when you came to the US too.
Yeah, we're probably gonna get double taxed. I mean, we're still working out that issue.
Nice. That sounds great.
Good luck getting reimbursed by China, because our governments are really
Something
seeing eye
about
to eye.
something about communism and
something about
something,
Taiwan,
something.
maybe, you know? I don't know.
oh man. All right. Well, we departed there from DreamLeague.
Nahaz, that's not true. You don't always get double tax, because a lot of most countries actually have tax treaties. So if you get taxed in one
Yes.
country, you're exempt in the other. There are exceptions where there's no tax treaty, in which case sometimes you do get double tax, but that's not generally the case by any means.
Yes, if you like for the U.S., the U.S. has a lot of tax treaties with a lot of other countries. You can and for foreign players, you can fill out like a W-8, W-8 Ben, and if your country has a tax treaty with the United States, you won't get double taxed.
Okay, this is where that whole adversarial thing comes in, because I will say as an organizer, teams are always going to scum, right? They're always going to try to say, oh, no, we don't have to pay taxes. Just give us the money. We'll handle that on our end. And that's fine. They're allowed to do that. But organizers ultimately will be responsible if they do not withhold taxes, and then a team was actually supposed to have them withheld.
Right.
And you have to pay them.
Right, and I'm not asking for like for you to not withhold. I'm asking for some fucking documentation.
Of that, the fact that you won
that is an
$80,000
acceptable
or
baseline
whatever.
requirement. But I just want to say, most teams go the next step of, no, we don't have to pay taxes to the U.S. I promise we'll pay it in Ukraine, or we'll pay it in Russia, or we'll pay it in China. I swear we're going to pay our taxes. Or we're a U.S. company, but all our players come from other countries. So we don't have to pay taxes in the U.S. Guess what? The IRS doesn't see it that way.
Yeah, I don't think that's how it
after
works.
you, if you get big enough, you get fucked extremely hard. And if you happen to have foreign employees who are in work visas, guess what? Their visas are rescinded. You're not allowed to employ anyone who's not a U.S. citizen ever again.
So the IRS takes its throbbing dick and gives it to you.
Oh yeah, and they ream you. They ream you good.
That sounds like the IRS.
This is one of the reasons why Valve only does things on a per player basis, because that's the safest route. From an accounting and financial point of view, if you have foreign employees or you're worried about their work visa status, you take the tax calculations down to the individual level, so that because it's kind of like, organizations like, okay, this is where it stops. We're the ultimate beneficiary, but you're really not in most cases, because the players normally get the prize money. So if someone really digs and they say, see, you were just a front for these people, well, guess what? You're tax evading. Bam, you're fucked.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? Oh, we were
DreamLeague.
talking about DreamLeague.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know.
I forgot where we were.
We were talking about the qualifier format and how it's stupid. I don't know. I mean, the whole, we're sorry, but we fucked up thing doesn't, like, if they just, I think it comes down to the fact that they seem to have forgotten that they're not the only tournament in Dota 2. And it makes things quite complicated for anyone else to do anything. Is that a fair summary?
Sure.
Oh, was that the topic?
That was.
Talking about everything.
that-
I mean, we
was
drifted.
topic. We definitely drifted.
My main beef is,
GERG'd.
want to run open qualifiers, then don't put every team through the open qualifier. That's it.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, there should be like 2 stages of qualifier, right? That's what you do for the summit, essentially, right? You have the pre-qualifier and then the qualifier.
No, in our case, we didn't have open qualifiers. We just invited teams, and the reason is because open qualifiers are messy and they're complicated.
Okay, well, you had a very. I mean, your pre-qualifier was very open though. Like you invited a lot of teams.
Well, for America especially, we slummed it,
You
dude.
fucking dug at the bottom of the barrel.
That is a great topic. I don't know if we want to talk about it.
We can get into that. I'm down.
NA teams, dude, are the worst. They're the fucking worst. Every day, new roster. You know, teams that qualify for your event suddenly are replacing their players with from teams that didn't qualify. It happened today. There's like 3 players from one of the teams on the summit that weren't on the team when the event started. And it's like, well, you could say no, but then maybe the team just doesn't exist anymore, and you got to replace them anyways. So, NA Dota is a fucking mess to run. Well, not just NA Dota, just American Dota in general. South America, North America. It's terrible to run events because there's absolutely no stability in the scene. The teams are just they're a mishmash of nonsense.
To be fair, if you're gonna dig, for the bottom of the very fucking barrel for for teams, you're gonna get shit. That's sort of implied.
I think yeah.
What you're basically saying is if you have open qualifiers for America, you're gonna get shit because if you want to have an open qualifier, you're digging through the barrel, dude.
Well, okay,
dude, that barrel
you
has
said
been.
This was for the summit. You said this was for the summit. You didn't have an open qualifier, so you picked enough. You tried to get enough teams to fill your qualifier, and in order to do that, you had to scrape the fucking bottom. But there weren't enough teams. This is not about an open qualifier.
Just to be clear, I'm not saying that from an individual talent or ability level. I'm saying that from a team that will actually have a scheduler, have someone who sits in the Skype combo.
Okay, this is true for almost. Not even the bottom of the barrel. Like Fnatic today, they didn't show up for their fucking match because their manager was AFK or some shit. Here's the thing, a scheduler, a good scheduler across the board is gonna be shit for most teams anyways. I'm pretty sure Navi doesn't even have a fucking manager.
It's a much deeper barrel.
Navi US or Navi EU?
Navi EU.
Navi EU have Igor.
No, they have
Igor.
I don't know. I actually. He travels to LAN with him, but
I mean, it depends what you define as a manager. I think a requirement of a manager is that you speak to your players occasionally.
I'm not going down this road. I'm not going down this. This is for you to flame, GERG. I will not stop you. I will just listen and laugh. I
mean, I don't know. I don't know if we really need to get into that, but I mean, their Navi management does not exactly talk to their players a lot. I think we could probably leave it at that. And that's an issue. But NA Dota, no comment. You're disgusting. NA Dota, I mean, we're looking at
comments 20 times today.
We're looking at the qualifiers today, or the qualifiers for the summit. Who the fuck is sciencey stuff?
Okay, no. I have something very important to bring to the table. So, an example of this nonsense. Team GERG.
All right. Whoa, dude. No, it's okay.
I hate to break this on the show. They emailed us. And they were spamming me on Skype. We are changing our team name to Ham Ham Clubhouse. They sent me the logo. Why is this an order of business in the tournament?
You should actually tell them. You
should make them plan your team, GERG.
No. For things like that, you should actually just have a deadline for submitting your logo, your name, and if they want to change it after, you just tell them to fuck off. Literally, I'll tell who's on that team. Jimmy?
No. Jimmy's on. No, Jimmy's on.
I mean, Jimmy's on Stay Free now, but who's on Team GERG?
It's like Pandago, MSS. It's like similar people, but minus Betas.
And minus Jimmy. Yeah, Arif, fuck off. Just play under Team GERG.
If
fuck
you get
off.
sponsored, that's one.
Hey man, I offered to buy them shirts, dude. I don't know what their problem is. All they had to do was get to ESL 1. I would have bought them some fucking jerseys, and they couldn't even do that.
I mean, they're just fucking around.
That's not a real team. I mean, that's kind of the case with most of these tier garbage NA teams.
I don't actually mind. It's mostly a joke, but it's just that to me is the state of American Dota right now. This is the type of if you want to have an open qualifier, even if you just want 8 teams, dude. If you want 8 teams, who are those 8 teams? You could pick 1 or 2, maybe 3. Beyond that, you're stretching to say that they're definitely better than the next 8. So you run a qualifier.
Sorry, for the record, I just have to get this in real quick. There's a reason I don't talk to you, Artur, because every time I do, I get brain cancer. Okay, continue.
You're the best oncologist ever, Charlie. My goodness.
Oh,
Thank
All
you.
right. Do we have a topic here, Greg?
Well, we were talking about anecdote in the summit, but then we just started flaming people. But stay free. I mean, is this even what team is this right now? Jigglebilly, Crit, Demon, Existence, Ralph. That's a crew.
Not very NA, I will say.
I mean,
I don't.
By the Cloud9 rule, they're the most North American team ever. So.
they ride it on their American flag. All right. Well, I mean, I guess that's
that shit on the green screen for sure. No problem there.
I don't even know. I mean, that's not really an NA Dota topic, but what do you think? What do you think of the argument of the fact that NA Dota isn't a real thing is because like the cost of living in the U.S. is like much higher. So like being a pro in the U.S. is
That's part
much
of it.
harder.
There's a whole bunch of reasons why.
I mean, I think that's a pretty
is
real
not
reason though. It's like living in the U.S. is really expensive compared to other
it's
countries.
It's more complicated than that. I mean, do we want to go into all the reasons? Like this could be a 3-hour conversation.
Yeah. This is we're flaming people here. We're not talking about like the intrinsic problems with North American Dota.
We probably need to get Thorin in here if we want to do that. Not for
What the
Dota,
fuck?
but yeah.
All right. Well, do you guys
All
have do we want to flame anyone else? Or are we good? It's been a little over an hour. It's a lot of flaming. We could talk about timeliness in esports. That's the last thing on our sheet here. But
We're talking about what?
timeliness in esports is the last thing on our sheet here.
Timeliness?
Timeliness, but I don't really care that much about that. Don't be fucking late.
Yeah, I mean, look at you.
That's
You're
just
fucking late all
hypocritical
the
as
time.
fuck, dude.
Are you serious? You're both fucking booted.
I mean, I'll be on the schedule, so I shouldn't talk either. But you know.
I'm looking for some new co-hosts next week. Anyone with these?
Yeah, shut the fuck up. Who else would be here
You're
with
stuck
you?
with us,
Goddamn
dude.
idiot.
Nobody else wants you.
Wow.
Oh man.
All right. Are you guys good? Or do we have anything else to talk about? Are we done? Are we done flaming?
I don't know.
I
is there
feel
anything else?
great.
I feel much better.
Oh yeah.
I feel like a weight has been lifted off of my chest. We
I got to flame the shit out of you for an hour, so I'm happy.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. I think in the future,
Very therapeutic.
if we do more of this show, we probably will have like some sort of viewer call-in. I don't know. It's really annoying to deal with, to be honest. But
Who's gonna call in?
I don't know, man. There's a bunch of people in the chat right now.
Who's gonna call you?
There's 400 people, dude. It's easy. People will.
Congrats. You think you're hot shit?
I hate you so much. All right. Anyway, all right. How about this? We'll take topics from the chat for one topic.
Fuck Frankie.
Dude, Frankie is actually super nice. I met him at ESL.
This was a terrible
Oh,
idea.
I gotta tell a story about Frankie. So, this was back when he was on Dignitas. This is when I was on Dignitas. Those were dark days. So this was at the MLG Orlando event, the Full Sail one, and this was after the event. It's like 3 a.m, and Frankie's like drunk off his ass, and he wants me to go to Denny's. So I won't go to Denny's with him because Denny's like it's a fucking awful place. So he tries to fight me. He literally tries to fight me to force me to go to Denny's. He's like jumping on my back and like trying to push me around and shit. And like like Frankie weighs like he probably weighs like 100 pounds soaking
He's
wet.
pretty small.
So like every time like I take him and I like throw him on the bed and I like push him down. Okay, that sounds really wrong.
I mean, there's no. Why are we telling this story?
Okay,
on air?
and then I'm like, Frankie, are you done? Are you done? And he's like, all right, I'm not gonna do it. And he keeps on trying to fight me. And then hotel security comes because we're making too much noise. What a shitty story. Yeah,
because
actually.
because you're making too much noise.
Yeah, what a I'm done.
Hates Denny's, hates Subway. What do you eat, Charlie?
I'm done.
Oh,
Fuck Frankie.
God.
So, confirm Charlie takes advantage of young Asian boys.
I mean, snaking
you
at
next, Artur. Watch out.
All right. On that note, I'm not sure I can take this anymore. Thank you guys for watching.
Great open Q&A session, Greg.
All right. Well, no one asked anything that I really want to talk about. What else have we got here? People want to talk about Infinity Stack. We already did.
Shut it down. Play that.
When we talk about potential sponsors for Team Tinker in secret, no.
I mean,
we could.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know why
This
that
could
team's
actually
called Infinity Stack. It's like
This could actually be salty, so we'll save this for next week.
And we'll save this for a little longer, but thank you guys for watching. GERG live and uncensored. That's the worst fucking show name on the planet. And our Twitters are under our picture. If you don't follow us already, I don't know why you're here. And thanks for watching.